Hello Gems, Leah from Red Emerald Yoga. Today we're going to be doing an unboxing of the Sacred Rose Tarot by Johanna Gargiulo-Sherman. Let's see. Let's open this packaging up. This is a US Games deck. So I'm expecting the cardstock to be nothing fancy, but have that really nice shuffleability, and I'm expecting it to kind of feel like my Rider-Waite deck, but we shall see. Let's check this out. Let's get rid of that shrink wrap. Okay. All right, so we just got our standard little tuck box. I'm going to have to get a bag for this because I know that that box will not last. So we do have a nice shrink wrap on here. There's a little white book. So that way it keeps like all of the dust and moisture off of the cards, kind of just like adds another layer of protection. But there's no little pull thing, so we just got to find a spot where it's safe to open, the cards. Let's see. I don't know if you can hear my computer humming away in the background. It's really loud. It's probably a sign that I need to upgrade my computer, but let's see. I'm gonna see if I can edit that humming noise out of the video. If not, that means I was unsuccessful. So just got the standard little white book. It's got a little bit of damage on it, but whatever. These things are really not that in-depth to begin with. But let's see. So this tells us what the inspiration was. Inspired by the artistry of medieval stained glass windows and Byzantine icons, the artwork of Johanna Sherman provides a definitive link with the belief in the divinity of nature that prevailed during pre-Christian times. Thus, instead of using the lotus mandala of the Middle East, the Sacred Rose Tarot draws on the symbolic rose of Western iconography and the ancient Kabbalah, the tree of life, and the cosmos itself, time and space. While preparing the 22 major arcana cards during the years 1978 through 1980, the artist expressed her viewpoints in private correspondence. The purpose of the Sacred Rose artwork is to enable viewers to envision the obvious fragmentation of their existence, to recognize and foresee their own inner strengths, and despite the ever-present obstacles that arise in life, to transcend earthly existence. The major arcana of the Sacred Rose Tarot deck presents systematic and symbolic pictures that reveal the experiences of life's progress and development. The symbolism on the cards is not meant to be either occult or mundane. Rather, it is nature-oriented. Red suggests passion and creativity. White represents purity and initiation. In the sequence of natural progression, initiation is the step prior to the act of creativity. The feminine aspects of the Sacred Rose Tarot cards are spiritual and lunar. The masculine attributes are physical and solar. Meditation with the deck should be a simple and natural process because the artwork itself is natural and inspirational. So very cool. It goes into a little bit more of Johanna Sherman's beliefs, and I'll go into that on my own. I will go into this though, the back design. So let me just show you the back. Okay, so the back design of the Sacred Rose Tarot deck comprises 5 mystic roses entwined in a lattice of branches and resting upon a bed of green leaves, representing the fertility of nature. The roses are the Western equivalent to the sacred lotus of the Orient. Cosmic rose in the center suggests time and space. Red rose stands for sacrifice. White rose is purity. The blue rose represents the impossible. The gold rose signifies absolute achievement. The symbolic roses appear throughout the major arcana and the minor arcana of the Sacred Rose Tarot deck. So that is pretty cool. Okay, so let's take a look at these. So I was discussing this deck with one of my friends the other day, and we were talking about how it's not a very beautiful deck like some of the newer decks are. They're just like absolutely gorgeous, lovely to look at. It's a very symbolically rich deck. Ooh, look at that Hermit. Oh my gosh, I love that. Like the lantern is here, and behind it, it looks like this swirling vortex, and it's like coming out of his robe sleeve. That is so cool. So is it like shooting out, or is it like drawing you in? I don't know, but that's really cool. I love how he's being suspended by this ivy, like this ivy, and there's a rose on it. Just roses all around. And then like the halo is like the stars in the universe. I can't wait to dive into this deck. And oh my gosh, look at those eyes. Instead of just like one lightning bolt, there's just like these shards coming. I can't really tell if that's lightning or not, but it's really cool. I love how he's looking at his reflection. Like how it's daylight over here, but his reflection, we have all the stars around it. This deck is going to be very deep. Okay, so this deck is arranged with all of the same, I guess, the same number, and then they go into all of the suits. It's kind of cool so you can compare them. It's not normally how I separate my cards, but I do like to do like a once through, looking at all of the different suits of each number. And so that is kind of cool. So this deck is copyright from the 80s. I think it's like 1982 copyright. So I don't know when this deck was actually created. I want to say it was in the 70s, but yeah, copyright 1982. So you can really see that big hair on these, the 80-ish, 80s style hairdos. It's pretty funny. Like they're in their old clothing, but their hair looks like they stepped out of an MTV video. What was it? VH1 or something like that? I don't really remember. Those music videos. That's definitely a different take on the Four of Cups. Ew, and I don't know if you can see it right there. There it is. It's like a little face right there. Is that an animal or what is that? I don't know. Interesting. Oh my gosh. Look at that Five of Swords. Jeez, I'm going to read that. I'm going to read that really quick. Let's see. Let's see. Five of Swords. I have to know that meaning. Five of Swords. So it says defeat. A man kneels impaled by 4 swords. A 5th sword hangs ready to strike. Blood streams into the ground before him. The blue rose of the impossible lies in a pool of blood. This is a card of ill wishes, cruelty, and degradation. And in the reverse, it would indicate weakness, seduction, and an empty victory. So I will take my original like Rider-Waite meanings, but I definitely want to like take in the artist's interpretation of that because, wow, it's just so intense, you know, it's like demanding your attention. That's pretty cool. It's definitely a different vibe from the Five of Pentacles than I normally get. Some of them have very similar, like an energy similar to the Rider-Waite, but some are, the imagery is very different. Like in this one, it almost looks like he's hoarding or being stingy. He's like afraid of like losing this, and she's offering him more temptations. Again, with these sleeves, I feel like the artist really is drawing a lot of attention to the sleeves on their robes. That's interesting. I like how the swords are put, like, she looks like, she's putting in the swords herself. And she's like literally putting them in her own dress. Like there could be no movement, no progress. She's sticking herself there. And then it's her own hair that's blinding her. It's a very different take. And then this, what is that? Is that like a tree? It kind of looks like roots and branches, but it kind of also looks like fire. It'll be really interesting to see what these cards mean. Again, it's just a little white book, you know, it's not going to be too in-depth. It's not going to give you any really deep insight, but it'll still be interesting to see if we can explain anything in a little bit more detail. And I do like how the colors are such an integral part of this deck. Like the colors hold a lot of meaning. I also associate colors in the Rider-Waite, but yeah, I just feel like they're more prominent here. They're more prominent in this deck as to the meaning. Normally I really like the Queen of Wands, but this one's a little bit creepy. I don't know, maybe I'll come to grow a little warmer towards this Queen of Wands, but she's kind of creeping me out a little bit. Again, with those, I just feel like those sleeves, for some reason, they're meant to be noticed. Okay, so we have another little package insert. So let's read this. Johanna Sherman, born October 15th, 1948. Johanna Sherman became interested in the tarot in 1965 when she purchased her first tarot deck. Formal studies include the High School of Art Design, 1963 to 1966, degrees in fine art and art education, degrees in fine art and art education from Pratt Institute, 1966 through 1970, and postgraduate studies in the School of Visual Arts, New York. Additional studies include Silva Mind Control, Spiritual Frontiers Fellowship, and Self-Research International. In 1980, U.S. Game Systems Incorporated published the 22 major arcana cards of the Sacred Rose Tarot deck in a limited edition of 1,000 numbered gold edge sets signed by the artist. The complete 78-card Sacred Rose Tarot deck by Johanna Sherman marks the culmination of more than 15 years of research and artistic expression by the artist in the field of tarot. Very cool. All right. So I have my little checklist here. Let's check out the packaging. Unfortunately, this deck just comes with the standard US Games little tuck box, and this will not hold up very well. And I find that these tuck boxes, they munch your cards when you put this little flap in. And also, let me see if you can see it down there at the bottom. When you put your cards in, that tends to want to mess up the bottom of your cards. So I'm going to have to use a pouch for these, unfortunately. So the box will not last, even though the box is cool to look at. The ease of opening, it was pretty easy to open. The cutting of the cards, let's take a look at them. I really like US Games cutting. Their cutting always feels great. Really, really good to me. So yeah, I like the cutting. The backs are really nice. I love, oh my goodness, did I just do that? Okay, so I just messed up the King of Pentacles card. I kind of, let me see. Oh, it's not going to show. Well, right here, I damaged the edge, which is unfortunate. There we go. Okay, because I'm pretty sure that that wasn't like that. I do like the backs. Yeah, so anyways, I'm a big stickler for the card back. I love like when the cards are laid out in a spread and you can see the beautiful backs. I don't care if the card shows and reveals which card is upside down. That doesn't make any difference to me because I do read with reversals, and I don't consider reversals to be bad. I just consider reversals to be another option. It's just another option. So instead of having 78 cards, now your options have doubled. There is a cohesive theme. The art looks like it was all done by the same artist, which I appreciate. These, like I said earlier, it's not the most aesthetically pleasing deck to look at. If you want a beautiful deck, there are plenty of other beautiful decks on the market with gorgeous art. This is not going to be one of those. This is going to be a very symbolically rich tarot deck. Versus the Rider-Waite, I think if you are an experienced reader with the Rider-Waite cards, you can transfer those meanings over fairly well, but I think some of the beginners may have a little bit of a trouble with that. Will I keep it in the box? No. The cardstock, let's check it out. You got like your standard US Games. It's very flexible. It's got a, oops, let's focus. Come on. Okay, there we go. It does have a bit of a gloss to it. It's not like super glossy, but it will get quite a bit of a glare. I'm intentionally trying to get it to glare right now. Yeah, and I can get his whole face to glare out. So you do have to watch that. Same with the back. I'm sure this back, yeah, there we go. It'll catch quite a glare. Let's check out the shuffleability. This will be a deck that I'll have no problem rifle shuffling. Let me come around this side on my tripod. Let me see, because it's kind of like a little weird. So yeah, the cards separate nicely. No problem. It feels good in the hands. The guidebook is the sad little white book. I would have liked a good size guidebook, but I already expected that going into that, with considering it was coming in a tough box and US games. I knew that going in, that it would just be like the sad little white book. The size is your standard tarot size card. Let me get my Rider Waite. So yeah, it's exactly the same size as the Rider Waite deck. Actually, like maybe just like a hair smaller. But yeah, basically it's the same size. I think the coloring is good. I think the colors are consistent. And I like the colors that were selected. The text readability, it's got a nice size print. Actually, let me compare that with the Rider Waite. Let's see. So the Rider Waite is a bit larger, and this one is significantly smaller, but to me, it still seems readable. But you will have to be the judge. As far as the text in the book, this is really hard to read. If you are visually challenged, then you would probably have to use glasses, contacts, or perhaps like a magnifying glass, because this is really small. The descriptions, let's go back in. The descriptions of the major arcana are a lot more in depth. So this is like Judgment right here. And then it goes into the reverse. So those are a lot more in depth than, like this is the Eight of Wands. That's it. Let me just get that to focus. So yeah, the minor arcana have significantly way less information. The organization of the suits in the book, it's the major arcana, and then it goes into the minors, and it organizes the book the same way that the deck was organized. All of the aces, all of the 2s, 3s, 4s, etc. Oh, does it have any spreads in this book? Let's see. I'm not sure this book will give any spreads. It's really small. Oh, here we go. So here they call it the 10-card spread, most commonly known as the Celtic Cross. And that is it. So this does not look like it's intended for a beginner. And beginners would really struggle to do a proper Celtic Cross. So yeah, I do think this would be more of like an intermediate to an advanced deck. Let me find my favorite card. Oh, I should not have shuffled it because now they're upside down. Let's see. Oh, well, we'll just continue. I really like the Death card. I like how the 10 of Pentacles is in the cornucopia. Like it's, yeah, and then it looks like it's like just like coming out of the sun. And then the Fool, like how instead of walking off a cliff, he's like walking into like this abyss, this energetic stars, I don't know, like vortex thing. It's pretty cool. That's like a recurring theme throughout the deck. Okay, let's see which one it's going to be. Move these out of the way. So it looks like it's mostly the major arcana that I'm being drawn to in this deck. Let's see. Again with those sleeves. I think I'm more drawn to these sleeves than this one. And then that's like what, his heart being a heart being weighed against. Is that the blue rose? I can't tell. That's really interesting. And then we have the lion and the woman, like their hair is intertwining and it almost looks like they're becoming one. That's fascinating me. And then the Wheel of Fortune. Here we have like, I think that's Anubis. Gotta be like Egyptian underworld. And then this looks like a snake, which to me would represent like Kundalini. It's going down into this stuff. That's fascinating me. And then there's like this little monkey dude over here. Like, what the heck is he doing? And then the bird over here. I think those are the animals, but which one is it going to be? I think I'll take out Justice. And I think I really want to know what this Wheel of Fortune card means. I really like this Two of Swords cards too, because normally it's just the woman with the two swords crossed at her chest, but there's two people here. It looks like a man and a woman. To me, this kind of looks like a sacred yoni. You have like this water is like this manifestation, this spark of possibility. I don't know. I'm really drawn to this card, but I'm so intrigued by the symbolism in this card. Like, what does it mean? So I'm gonna go here because I just have to know what the Wheel of Fortune means. Let's see. Okay. Before the watchful eyes of the Sphinx, the Wheel of Fortune turns at the edge of the cosmos. Okay, so this is the Sphinx right here, looking in. Oh my goodness. I never would have guessed that. The wheel represents agitation and interaction of time, space, and thought. The abundant flora surrounding the wheel suggests everlasting life. The Wheel of Fortune is purple to signify power and intuition. Green to suggest nature and fertility. Blue for intellect and the impossible. And pink to indicate emotions and sacrifice. Let me bring this in so you can see the colors on the wheel. Ascending on the right is Anubis, the jackal-headed god, also known as Hermanubis, a positive force of nature and bearer of constructive knowledge. On the left is the serpent Typhon, god of evil and destruction, the alter ego of the Egyptian god Set, and bearer of destructive and forbidden knowledge. The wheel itself represents the divine intervention of the gods, over which no one has any control. The monkey at the base of the wheel suggests that the monkey at the base of the wheel. So that is a little monkey dude. Get it to focus. There we go. The monkey at the base of the wheel suggests the base nature of humanity, which through its own natural instinct is mischievous, yet dexterous and lucky. The eagle, okay, so that is the bird. The eagle at the left of the wheel suggests intellect, lofty ambitions. The eagle at the left of the wheel suggests intellect, lofty accomplishments, and glory. The Sphinx patiently watches. She knows and understands that the forces before her that expand and contract like the ebb and flow of the ocean tide to reveal a myriad of possibilities. The divinatory meanings are link with the universal flux, destiny, adaptability, karma, karmic lessons, universal law, proper conduct, good fortune, gain after trial, destiny with a beneficial outcome. And in the reverse, it would suggest self-delusion is now a refuge from lessons to be learned. Reality is confronted, a change for the worse, a very hard lesson, or improper action. Oh my goodness. Very cool. I'm so glad that I read that. I was wondering, like, who was looking in? Who was peering into this card? And it's the Sphinx. That makes so much sense because you can see like the little peak of the headdress. I'm going to go find the chariot. Let me see. Where are you? There we go. The chariot. So you can see the little headdress right there. That was my clue. I wasn't too sure. But yeah. And then those big eyes with the eyeliner. Okay. But here you don't see so much eyeliner on them. But anyways, very cool. So that's my favorite card. Let's do a sample reading. right, let's see. What kind of readings will be your strong suit? What kind of readings are you not suited for? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? And how can we best work together? Justice in the reverse. Okay. What kind of readings are we best suited for? Three of Wands. It could be like expansion, growth. I feel like that would be manifesting our desires. What kind of readings are you not so good with, not suited for? Queen of Wands in the reverse. I feel like that would be selfish goals and ambitions. I feel like that would be like clingy readings, like clingy relationship readings. Yeah. Strengths. Again, with that whole expansion thing, Three of Pentacles. Likes to be learning like how you can, what can you do? What kind of work needs to be done to manifest your goals? I'm really drawn to that, like the star theme behind the purple background. Like, I feel like that's like manifesting. And I really like the string connecting all of the stars. It's like you're weaving it together. Your weakness. Knight of Swords. This could be a bit headstrong, kind of just like charging in. Kind of charging in and going like a bit abrupt. Maybe the weakness of this deck is it's not so sensitive. It would be kind of, it'll give you the answers you're seeking, but I'm really drawn to that double-edged sword, and it might deliver truths in a harsh way and just be very forceful in the delivery of the message. And how can we best work together? Justice in the reverse. I was really drawn to this card. I want to see what it says about those scales, like what it's weighing. So let's go to that Justice in the reverse. Okay, so it's saying, I'm going to read the whole thing. Resplendent, blindfolded Justice in her royal robe administers justice with forceful decision and uncompromising righteousness. She is a feminine figure with a triple crown and is somewhat like the Empress transformed into a different role. The purple blindfold signifies discrimination that is intuitive in nature. Her robe comprising a combination of purple, red, and blue. I really don't see the blue, to be honest, on her robe. Signifies power, sacrifice, and realization of the impossible. Justice bears a solar or physical crown of 3 bars side by side, signifying the creative, formative, and physical worlds. Her abundant red hair signifies power and creativity in nature. The upraised golden sword in Justice's right hand confirms inspired intellect. 3 red stones located at the top and ends of the hilt indicate fire. The inverted triangle formed by the hilt represents the blend of fire and water. So that's really hard to see, and you probably might not have noticed it if you didn't read the book. Confirming that emotional creativity leads to true justice. Thus, the figure of justice can emphasize and easily relate to the circumstances of other people. The scales are shown. Okay, so it is a red heart of humanity, and on this side, it's the blue rose of the impossible in balance. Neither outweighs the other. However, it is wise to remember that the scales may tip to either extreme before settling into equanimity. The divinatory meaning is the absolute in all its force divine decree. Test, ordeal, lesson. Weigh all possibilities prior to action. But in the reverse, for us to work together, it would suggest headstrong actions. Bitterness, bias, abuse, bigotry, complications, unfairness, and frustration. I think I need to cleanse this deck before before I use it. I'm going to go to the Knight of Swords because I feel like the weakness of this deck is just being like so forceful and like headstrong. And I'm feeling like that's, oh my goodness. Let's go to the Knight of Swords. On a foggy night, a determined knight mounted on a dark horse emerges from the mist. Symbols of the element of air. The blue circle adorn the knight and his steed. The knight wields a sword in his left hand. This card signifies a strong, brave, but dominating individual. He or she is skillful and clever, charismatic and persuasive. Do not cross this person. Ruthless undertakings may occur. Opposition and battle is imminent. Mental alertness is present. Oh my goodness, yeah. I really so I had this deck laying on my table, and before I even opened it, I felt really drawn to just like the cards were in the box, and I felt really drawn to just put these stones on there. I had the heart for love, okay, and then I have this blue stone. I don't know what it is. I'm assuming it's like some sort of agate or something. It doesn't, but I had it like for the throat chakra, so it would deliver a message. The truth, but not in a way that came across as so devastating or hurtful to people. The pyrite, to trust in my intuition and to be led by the spirit. And the sea, because the water is cleansing and healing to the soul. And I had this sitting up on my table for a few days before I decided to open it. And after looking at these cards right here, I really feel like, yeah, these are the right stones that I selected, but I'm going to have to do a cleansing of this deck, like a more intense cleansing on my own before I decide to really sit down and connect with it and definitely use it in readings. So yeah, I do think that this is a very powerful deck. I think this deck is going to have a pretty strong attitude about it. Oh my goodness. And I literally just pulled the strength card in the reverse. All right, deck. You are intriguing me for sure. So I will leave a link in the description if you are interested in purchasing the Sacred Rose Tarot. I think it's fascinating. It's really intriguing. And I hope that you enjoyed watching this video with me. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.